There we go. Hi. How's it going? Sound good? I know I was a little quiet last time, so I was mixing and tricking a little bit with the mic, so maybe I turned it off for some reason. There we go. Fixed law. Perfect. Awesome. And everything looks good. I was a little quiet last time, so hopefully it sounds a little bit better. And how y'all doing? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you again, Dilly Dilly. Always happy to have you on board in the chat, making those good contributions. Let me see what we got. I'm gonna get some. We got from ET with some questions because I see that it's time to start answering. Cooper Cup, Kenny Galladay, or Deshaun Jackson. So that's gonna be the first question. Gonna make sure that no questions came in the chat. Everything looks good. John, how's it going? It is that time again. Happy to have you on board. All good with you? So this is from ET on Twitter. This is the first question of the day. So let's see what we got. What he needed. One non-PPR. Okay. So Cup has the best ranked opponent. Best meaning give up most points to his group. Comes with higher risk but much higher projection. Loki the same floor, higher ceiling. So I'm gonna go Cup for ET in this regard. So that looks all good. Going Cup in standard for me. There we go. Thank you, ET, on Twitter. Hope everybody. I'll see more people are joining in the live stream. Happy to have you on board. Welcome. You can ask anything in the chat, and I'll get to it as soon as possible. In the meantime, I will be answering questions on Twitter just so you can get as many players in as possible. So we got Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins, who I will not tell him to start, and Emmanuel Sanders, who I probably will tell him to start. Yes, I will. He has the highest projection with the lowest risk, highest floor, highest ceiling. Not the easiest of opponents, but good enough for me. Who was that? That was Easy on Twitter. Thank you, Easy. Sanders for me. So we're starting off with some easy questions. Haha. Thank you, Easy, for that question. We also got Dan the Man, Dan Harvey on Twitter. So, hi, I hope you're well. I am doing awesome, thank you. Aaron Jones, who I have a video about that you might want to check out before today's game. Sony Michel. And Sentiment, which is good because Michel might not start. Yes. Otherwise, I do like Michel if we know exactly. Do like Michel if you feel comfortable with his injury status. I do like Michel with his health. I don't like starting people who have been hurt or are low-key hurt. There we go. Thank you, Dilly Dilly. First question in the chat. Let's get this ball rolling. Oof. Let's get it on. Almost wrote your name. So we got Dak Prescott and Baker Mayfield. Much higher projection. Very low risk, but for a much lower projection, so that makes sense. While also he has been underperforming, in my opinion. Well, not underperforming, but for fantasy, he hasn't been that great. Well, not Prescott either, so. Let's see what we got. 15. That's okay. Loki, same. Huh. This is a very close one, Dilly. He does come with a lower floor. I would probably roll with Dak out of these two anyway. Just with the projection being so much higher with not that much more risk. Under 50% is still good for quarterbacks, so that's okay. While an 11.4 projection is very low. Is very, very low. But I do have the quarterbacks have been having a low. Let's check. No, he's on a bye week. Let's just check one of the top scorers. See how he looks. Yeah, so he's far above. I will go Dak. Out of those lines. No problem. Thank you for the question. Sonny Michel, game time decision. Would you chance him play or Karen Johnson? I don't like to chance. So we got Carry On and Sony Michel. Let's just bring them both up too. Carry On is a very safe, like 9 points type player. I'll do. Hey Sleek, how's it going? Welcome to the stream as always. I just went with. Let me just check this one. I went with Murray in this regard because I needed a bigger game in one of my leagues from one of my running backs. But I'm starting Carry On in another one where I'm like, okay, 9 points. Because that's what he's going to get. He always gets those 9 points something. And then you can't expect too much more, but you don't expect too much less. So I like him. Murray also have an easier opponent that I think he has the chance to be boom or bust this week, and I needed that. So I would start Carry On. Thank you, John. You're sitting Big Ben. So we got Ben. Let's just bring him up. Roethlisberger. Did I get that right? Yes. I'm okay with you sitting him, but I would be okay with you starting him too. Who are you sitting him in? Like who you're playing instead? Let me see what dilly. Let me bring up these names. Meantime, Dion Lewis, DJ Moore. Thank you for putting DJ because I gave another guy David Moore's numbers instead of DJ the other day. Cortland Sutton. That was it. So let's bring that up while we wait for Dilly to tell us more about Big Ben. So we got this was also full point PPR for these three. Let us look at the standard scoring first. So Lewis have the high projection. With hopefully you can't hear that noise. That's some of the plumbing here. He does have a 68. Yeah, he does have second highest risk and second highest lowest risk. Cortland Sutton does have a low projection, and this I'm not buying this hype until I see more. I'm not starting Sutton. I'm not picking him up, and I'm not dropping John Brown to pick up Cortland Sutton because Demaryius Thomas left Denver. That makes no sense to me. No sense. I haven't seen that he has needed more opportunity to be great. So for me, it's gonna be in standard Dion Lewis. So let's see real quick in PPR. It should be Lewis in PPR as well, followed by Moore. So I'm starting Lewis, Moore, and then Sutton in that order. Let me go back to the Ben. No, that was not one. Okay, he's just sitting. Let's keep that one up there just in case he comes back. We can move it down here. And we got that was Sleek's question. Thank you, Sleek. We got Shane, PPR. Ooh, what's his name? Marquise. Let me Google that actually. Marquise Valdez Scantling. Is that his name? Marquez. There we go. It's a lot of players. Did I get that wrong? Yeah, he has one of those little lines. Or Laquan Treadwell. There we go. So MVS, high projection, lower risk, same floor-ish, higher ceiling, easier opponent. So it should MVS for me, and then Treadwell will be benched. These are not numbers that that makes me excited at all, especially that 5.6. If you have 1.3, it's okay. If you can have a great ceiling like Calvin Ridley, I'm okay with this. I'm not okay with this. This should not be in my starting lineup. That makes me sick. So I go with MVS. Shane, thank you for your question. Even with Diggs out, yeah. I don't. I don't trust him at all to get open. Like you can give him the opportunity, but he needs to get open and needs to catch the ball. Sometimes opportunity is not enough for me to get super excited. And then we got David. How's it going? Oh, no problem, Shane. Happy to have you on board. Welcome. You're welcome. And then we got David with Mitchell Trubisky or Drew Brees. Drew Brees. There we go. Excuse me. Let's see what we got. Low risk for Trubisky. I'm starting Trubisky in 1 or 2 leagues. Don't own Brees this year. I usually own Brees. I like to pick him up. He was a little too expensive. Trubisky actually has some freaking good numbers though. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start Trubisky. Higher floor, higher ceiling, lower risk with roughly the same projection, and an easier opponent. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start Trubisky over Brees. Okay. You know, there's a first for every time. Like, you never know when that day is gonna come. But today, sat Brees for Mitchell Trubisky. Thank you for that question, David. And you kind of opened my eyes. I knew I loved Trubisky, but I didn't know I loved him over Brees. Do I love him over Cam? No, I don't. Okay, thank you. Whew. Okay, we're back. That would no. Okay, back to the question. Sleek, we got Sammy Watkins. Also, everybody, welcome to the stream. You can ask any type of question in the chat, and I'll get to it as quickly as I can. If we come to a little lull in the chat, I'll go to Twitter and get even more questions. But the chat have priority over the Twitter questions. Also, you can ask anything if it's start or sit, the whole team, or just one player that you want to know more about. Go ahead. I was going to say something else, but I'll remember that later. And I appreciate everybody for joining me, and I'll get back to answering questions. Emmanuel Sanders, Keenan Allen, or Nick Chubb. 41692, what's up? All good over here. How you doing? That's not how you spell Nick Chubb or Keenan Allen. People, come on. Get your spelling right. So, that was half point PPR. You need 2. It's not going to be Sammy. It's not. Especially looking at PPR. Well, it does have some decent PPR points. But it's going to be these 2. Sanders and Keenan Allen. Best floors. Almost best ceilings too. Best projections. Lowest risk. Well, not lowest risk, but Keenan Allen wins with the floor. He also wins with the PPR points. So, Sanders and Keenan Allen. Even though it was half point PPR. So, these points should be... Well, these are receptions. I don't know why I put PPR points, but it should be receptions. Let me do it like that. So, that should add 0 for him. Okay. That can happen. He might get 1. But 0.1 points. That's... momentum. Always start Des Bryant, even though he doesn't have a team. Always start Des. My favorite player. Used to be my favorite player when he played. But that was Sleek. So that was Sanders and Allen. And then David, you were talking about Trubisky. Oh yeah. yeah, the rushing ability and the wow factor when he plays. He has seemed to score a lot of fantasy points, even though his team might not be winning. Trubisky is keep on scoring. He's like that. What year was it? 2015, 2016 Bortles, when the Jags they were just doing their own thing, not winning, but he was just scoring fantasy points just all over the place. I feel like Trubisky is kind of like that, but a more interesting version. Let's see what John says. You think Sammy Watkins will get a bump up if Hill dealing with his injury and Bill limited? A small bump, but not big enough for me to start gambling my starters. If you own Hill and you feel that you want to make that switch, you can. But I'm not benching like my starters to like, oh, you know, Watkins is going to break out today, so let me bench Brandon Cooks, who I love this week, for Sammy Watkins. That big of a bump is not gonna. You see, they have roughly the same ceiling, with much more security for Cooks. So, like, I'm not gambling on Watkins when I have Cooks in the lineup, for instance. Yeah, I know you were kidding. Momentum. So let's see what you got. You got Austin Hooper. No, not there. Austin Hooper or Kyle Rudolph. So let's see. I think he might have left it. So let's remove that one. In standard scoring. Perfect. Thank you for letting me know. Y'all back? I saw the stream. The stream is lagging a little bit. I can see. Is it terrible? Let me know with some smiles in the chat if it's working, or let me know if it's terrible. This was momentum wins, and he was asking about Hooper or Rudolph and standard. So he had very low risk. Thank you, Luke. Welcome to the stream as well. Lag isn't bad. Perfect. Higher floor, high risk, lower ceiling, higher ceiling. Easier opponent for Rudolph. Higher projection. I do like both. Do you need a high scoring tight end, or do you need just some couple of safe points? I would probably go with Austin Hooper in this game. Would I? No, that's the question. Rudolph would get. This hasn't been changed properly for the digs out, so I would probably go Rudolph. And this is hilarious. John Owens just posted a question here in the chat that came up to me for a review because he's asking about, how about Ed Dixon? And yeah, it's working, bro. Perfect. So the stream is working, but they want me to review this because you wrote Dixon. So that's hilarious. But yeah, I would gamble on Rudolph in this game. Momentum. FO1692. Sammy or Ingram. Flex at Mark Ingram. We'll go flex. Lower risk. Whoops. That's just a little V lookup. Lower floor, higher floor, higher ceiling. Way more difficult opponent though. And this was half point PPR. Okay. So that adds 2 points while he gets 1. So we're up to 16 versus. Okay, so this might be the first time I'm okay with starting Watkins over anybody else. It still comes with a buttload of risk. A lot of risk. But I could see you doing it thanks to the PPR points. I could see you doing Sammy over Ingram in this case. Just because if it's standard, it's no question that I'm going Ingram. Watkins, I can see him being thanks to the receptions. Thank you, Fo. Luke, so what do we got? Calvin Ridley. or Alex Collins. Half-point PPR. Lag isn't bad. Awesome. Projection 10 for Collins. 9.4. Much lower risk. Did not expect that. I appreciate you too, Fo. Always happy to have you here. Thank you for joining the stream as usual. Everybody. Like, this is having an awesome time. Hope you're enjoying it too. Let me know if there's any problem with the stream, with the design or anything. Or if you have any feedback, what I can improve for next time. I have some ideas that I'm working on. Didn't have time to fix them this week. Hopefully next week. So this was Luke's question. Half-point PPR. Let's see the receptions. 2 for Collins and 4 for Ridley. Yeah, so I would start Collins if I need safe points, 5-6 points. And if I want more, I'm starting Ridley. If this was my team, I would start Ridley. I like his upside. And he does have more receptions projected with my algorithm, which makes me more interested in him. And that was Luke. Thank you for that question. So we got ITZA Boy 97. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. DJ Moore or Cortland Sutton. Feel like it's going to be a lot of Sutton questions that I'm going to have to say. Don't start him. Please don't start him. This is PPR. 2 receptions, 3. Still higher for Moore. 2 point higher. Well, okay, no, in this case, you can actually start Sutton over Moore. Receptions, though. No, I would start DJ Moore over Sutton just one. Yeah, with the receptions. Much easier opponent when it comes to passing against Tampa. Yeah, DJ Moore for me. And that was, let me see, that was it. That was ITZA Boy. Hope I pronounced that correctly. Thank you for that question. let's get to John's Ed Dixon question. Okay, so he does have a really high projection, which I feel is not right at all. Let me just double check this and see if something happened with the algorithm in his case. I feel like this ain't right. No. Well, the floor and the ceiling is not right. The projection is correct. 8.4 with 20% risk. That seems a little high too. Let me check what the floor and ceiling should be real quick. I have his numbers in another folder here. Meantime, I can thank you so much for asking all these questions, making the stream interesting for everybody. And tight ends. You can't see this, but I'm working real hard trying to get the floor and the ceiling. Ed Dixon, where do we go? Ed. There we go. It should be 5.7 ceiling, which is really low, and a 1.1 floor. Well, not 5.7. It should be 11.4 and a 11.4 ceiling and a 1.4 floor. So this should be 1.4 and not 11.4. That's what I'm trying to say. But otherwise, like him. I think he's very startable this week. Can you hack my lineup on stream? What do you mean? I can get your entire lineup up on the stream if you want to. That would be no problem at all, my man. You just like write all the names in the chat and I'll copy it in and we can take a look at it all together. That could be kind of fun. And then we got John Schultz. Isn't that the tight end in Dallas? Dalton Schultz. John, welcome to the stream nonetheless. Happy to have you on board. Would you start in flags? Mark Ingram. Or did I? Yes, I had his name still. MBS, because I don't know. Marcus Valdez Scantling. MBS in flex, standard or PPR. We're gonna guess that it's standard. So that's gonna be Mark Ingram for me in standard scoring. I do like Mark. Always been a big fan. And the numbers speak for themselves. I like him a lot. Thank you for that question, John. Hope I pronounced your name correctly. Otherwise, I say like John Green, mispronouncing things is my thing. We got Luke. I can't make up my mind, so how many players on buys? Yeah, go and get that gamble, Luke. And that was on Ridley or Collins. Yeah, gamble on Ridley. Do it. You're going to be happy when he scores 3 touchdowns again. Oh, no problem, John. Happy to do it. I appreciate y'all for being here as well. It does make the stream very interesting when there's this many questions in the chat, and I can focus on y'all instead of on Twitter. Agent CZZ, welcome to the stream. Happy to have you on board. Who would you play, John Brown or Kenny Golladay? I'm pretty sure I'm starting John Brown in one of my leagues over Golladay. So let's see. Higher risk though. Higher ceiling, same floor-ish. High prediction. This goes hand in hand. Not in a curve per se, but it go hand in hand. Has an easier opponent. So I'm starting John Brown. Did you say if it was PPR or standard? I'm gonna guess standard. Let's look at the PPR numbers just for fun. Both are projected to have 4 receptions. 4 for both. Okay, but I'll do like both. I think you can start either, but I would prefer to start John Brown over Golladay. But these have been my 2 favorite receivers to pick up over the entire year. I've been picking them up in any league possible. One of my higher, like when it comes down to money, where I play for most in one of them leagues, I was trying to get Golladay, Boyd, and Brown off of waivers, but we have what is it called? Fab. I don't know how to pronounce it. Free agent acquisition budget, and I got outbid on all 3. So mad. A lot of money on stake, at stake. So I will go John Brown this week, and that was Agent. Thank you for that question. Mark, welcome to the stream. Happy to have you on board. You got Kyle Rudolph, or OJ Howard. I'm gonna guess that it's Howard. And you were saying PPR 3 receptions, so that makes it a little closer. Like the floor, like the ceiling is high. You can gamble on Rudolph with the Diggs information, but I would still go with Howard, and I'm starting him in 2 or 3 leagues this week. Opponents give up most amount of points to tight ends in the entire league. Carolina. His schedule is it's the 22 worst schedule in the league moving forward, so that's not too good. But that also lets you know how terrible his schedule is moving forward if he's facing the team that gives up the most amount of points to tight ends this week, but then moving forward that's how terrible his schedule is. So if you remove this week, it's going to be even worse. But I will go OJ Howard. Love him this week. Thank you, Mark, for that question. Jameson, welcome to the stream. Happy to have you on board. You want Cortland Sutton. Courland. That is a region in Latvia, if anybody wanted to know. LaShawn. No, Estonia. My bad. LaShawn McCoy. Marquise Goodwin? No, you want Chris Godwin. Calvin Ridley, full point PPR. And I'm writing full. There we go. So looking in standard real quick, we see that LaShawn McCoy has extreme amounts of risk. So he let's check his receptions 3, which should put him at 13. Roughly the same as these other 2. But we can remove him from this equation because that is, compared to these other guys, he's way above in risk for roughly the same amount of points. My bad. So we can remove him from the equation. And I'm gonna guess that you want, Jameson, you want one of these guys. So let's see. 8.6 with 59. 9.4 with 35. That's good. That's very good. And I would go with Calvin Ridley. He has the easiest opponent, most predicted points with lower risk, and a crazy high ceiling. And roughly the same predicted receptions as Chris Godwin. Godwin. God always wins in the end. Thank you for that question, Jameson. Nathan, welcome to stream. Happy to have you on board. Let's see what you got. You want Kirk Cousins or Fitzmagic? Ryan Fitzpatrick. You're welcome, Jameson. Happy to do it. And hope to see you again here. Hope to see everybody here again next week. It's so much fun to do this when there's a buttload of questions. Hopefully it's a lot of help to y'all as well. So let's see what Nathan's question with Kirk Cousins versus Fitzmagic. Low risk. This I love him. He's like 36.7 in ceiling. Like who has that? Who has that? What does Aaron Rodgers have? 26. Holy smoke. He had like, you gotta start if Fitzpatrick starts, you gotta start him. Like that, his numbers this year is just like, you know, what are, like, I don't even know what to say. Like, you just gotta start him. It's weird, but that just is what it is right now. You're gonna have to ride the Fitzpatrick roller coaster like the Jets did. Like, oh, one game he's gonna be throwing 4 touchdowns. Next game it's 7 interceptions. He's gonna have to roll with it. But yeah, he might win you this week. Like, he's extremely fun player to watch. I was watching last week with my dad, and he don't know too much about football, and especially not about Fitzpatrick. So I'm like, oh, they put in Fitzmagic, and he's like, who's that? I'm like, his weight is gonna be a ride right now, and he threw like 2 touchdowns, and bam. I'm like, watch him throw to 13 long. Who's that? Mike Evans. Oh, he done. It was like right when I said it happened. Anyway, back to answering questions. I get on little rant there. Thank you, Nathan, for that question. We got Mark, Cortland Sutton in PPR or Latavius Murray, and we got PPR. Well, that's easy win for Murray. Holy crap! Yeah. I'm starting Murray. PPR have them both for 2 receptions. So that doesn't change too much. So it should be Latavius Murray over Sutton in PPR. Let me just take 2 seconds to thank you again for joining me here. Don't forget to go to csdfantasy.com to check out all the content on Tuesdays and Thursdays with the waiver wire, rest of season rankings, and score projections. You can also go and check out the YouTube channel and subscribe, because I do 3 videos and a live stream every week. Video on Wednesday and Friday, around 3 minutes long, focus on one player and his matchup heading into the next week. Very quick video, don't take too much of your time, but it will just force feed you with information about that player. On Saturdays, I do a little longer, 6 to 8 minutes long, 2 players that I really dig deep into, how they're going to perform in the upcoming week, but also who's the right choice moving forward. More of a schedule analysis, but also in-depth into running, passing, and receiving patterns, how they perform in all the different situations as home games, away games, looking at their opponents, where they give up most yards, touchdowns, and stuff like that, to really dig deep into 2 players. And I did Aaron Jones and Lamar Miller yesterday, so you might want to go and check that out. If you have your questions answered here on the live stream. Anyway, let's. That was the last question we had in the chat. So let's head over to Twitter and see what we got there. We got Andres, that I think I mispronounce every time. Ben Roethlisberger. Joe Flacco. Alex Smith or Dak Prescott. He says he don't have Cup. Cooper. Let me see. With my bad. I answered ET, the first question of the day. I answered that one wrong. We got Andres. He wants to know which quarterback to start. I got Ben. Yeah, we got them all here. So, high prediction, lowest risk. That's a good start. Second highest floor. Highest ceiling. Difficult opponent, but I don't care too much about that in this case. Because the projection algorithm includes the opponent, where the game is, how much point they give up, and where they rank. It is all included. This is just to provide a little bit of added information. So let's go with Ben. People were so afraid of Baltimore against last week, and I think they've been slipping a little bit. So Andres going with Ben. Let's check back to the stream. Jameson. I need 2 players in full point PPR. I have Nick Chubb, Isaiah Crowell. Yes, and LaShawn McCoy. Oh, that is not a group that I'm super excited about. I think it's gonna be Crowell and Chubb. You said PPR though. Chubb is predicted for 0 receptions. That's kind of crazy. That is the only reason I would start McCoy, is thanks to those receptions. He does have an extreme low ceiling though. Extremely low ceiling. I mean, this kind of, you can just flip that. It should be like 0 points. He most likely won't get minus 1.1. So I don't take that into consideration. That's just statistical error. That's a high risk of getting 9.9 or above 9 point, not outscoring his projection. So I would go Chubb and Crowell for the upside. Crowell as default win here, and then Chubb for the upside. So that was Jameson. Thank you for that question. Agent, John Brown or Lamar Miller. Standard scoring. Let's see. We're also coming pretty close to kickoff, so let's see if we get a few more questions in here. Otherwise, I'm gonna leave it at this question because I feel like I'm losing my voice just a little bit. I'm not, hopefully that's not coming through. So John Brown or Lamar Miller, standard scoring, higher floor, roughly the same ceiling. Good opponents for both, higher projection for Brown, but with a low risk. That's kind of the same. Standard scoring, so we don't need to look at the receptions because then it would have been easier to go with Brown. This is a very tight one. Very, very, very tight. I do think I will have to go Lamar Miller because I have done a full in-depth analysis of him, and that makes me a little bit more comfortable. No, never mind, because I was thinking Aaron Jones. Never mind, because I was looking at his running patterns compared to the New England Patriots defense, and that fit very well. But Miller actually had some issues against the Denver defense and where they usually give up a lot of yards. So I will go John Brown here. Yeah, I will have to go John Brown. I think he will get you those 12.7 points. That was a difficult question, though. I like that one. Trey. Okay, Trey's going to be the last question unless something else comes in before I'm done. Josh Gordon. Do I still have that name? No, damn it. Marquez Valdez Scantling. Yes. And Doug. Let's get Julian Edelman up there too. Yes, for fun. So you're starting Edelman in full PPR. And that is the right choice. So let's get him out of there. That was easy. And you need one of these guys to fill that other role. That's a lot of risk for Gordon. Higher floor though, which is good. Ceiling says 9.7. Also a statistical error. This should not be 9.7. It should be like 12.7. So he does have the second highest ceiling. Jordan Howard have the highest full point PPR. Let me check here again. So it should be Gordon or Howard. Scantling does have 1.2. Okay. Should be Gordon or Howard after Edelman. Difficult one. I'm gonna have to say Howard with the lower risk and the higher projection. So yeah, go Jordan Howard out of that group, Agent. No, not Agent. That was Trey. Welcome to the stream, Trey. Also, thank you for that question. And Batsa, welcome to the stream. Happy to have you on board. You have Traquan Smith. So let's keep the stream alive, and hopefully my voice don't break out totally. Let me know if it's starting to sound a little weird. PPR. So we got Tyler Lockett, who I love, starting him everywhere. Looks good in PPR. Looks good in standard. Low risk, high projection, high floor, higher ceiling. Love me some Tyler Lockett. Starting him in 3 or 2 leagues this week. You gotta love him. Thank you, Batsa. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Daniel. Philip Lindsay. Say Lindsay or Aaron Jones. Jones has a really good I've dug way deeper into his numbers in yesterday's video, and he does fit against the Patriots extremely well. Where he runs the best is where they give up the most amount of yards. I had him for, if I look, with the opportunity both of them had, let me get that real quick. I think I have Jones for 13 carries and Lamar Miller for 18. And Jones fits so well that he's only, with 5 less carries, he's only 7 yards behind Miller. So that's how well he fits against the Patriots. He actually have the best when it comes to running outside the left end, where he runs 22% of all his carries. He gets 6.8 yards per carry, and the Patriots give up 6.7 yards per carry. He's gonna kill them. If he gets 3 runs there, he's gonna have over 20 yards. That's 2 points that you just bam. So with that in mind, I'm gonna have to move away from these numbers and think about what I did more in depth, and that's gonna lead me to say Aaron Jones will be the right pick of these two. So it's, yeah, Aaron Jones. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you for bringing up one of the more interesting players this week in Aaron Jones. No problem, Trey. Happy to have you on board. James, welcome to stream. How's it going? Welcome. And let's see what you got. You got Mike Davis or Frank Gore. So this minus 1.3, as I said before, it's a statistical error. It should be around like 0 point something. So you can just ignore that. Really low ceiling, but you know what you're gonna get. Do you need a lot of points? Gamble on Mike Davis. Are you okay with between 2 and 9 points? Go with Frank Gore. I don't like to start either of them. If you have any other players that you might be able to start, I would probably lean that way. But they did say Chris Carson. Did he get totally ruled out? More Seahawks. Chris Carson still viewed as game time. Oh, I hate it. If you have the time, can anybody look up what they say about Melvin Gordon so I can know if I need to replace him in my lineup? I would be much appreciated. But I would go with Mike Davis for the upside out of these two to try to get that pointage, like a lot of it. Thank you, James. Butts, I appreciate you too. Thank you. Emmanuel, how's it going? Welcome to stream. Should I wait for Chris Carson or put Robbie Anderson in my flex? When do they play the Jets? Robbie Anderson, he plays against Miami. I mean, it's starting to become real close. It's really, really close. That you need to actually remove him from your lineup, Carson, if we don't know anything. I would wait 5 more minutes to see what they say. Let me check everything. Like, okay, if it looks weird. When do the Seahawks play? 4. You have to put in Robbie for me. I'm not gambling. I forgot that they were playing at 4. So I don't like to gamble on somebody who's going to be a game time. Daniel, you're the man too. Thank you. I appreciate you. Sherman, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. We got Dak Prescott or Matt Ryan. It's going to be Ryan. It's going to be Ryan. Start Ryan all day, every time you get a chance. I can see that the stream is a little laggy. I hope it's better. Stream is offline. Am I back? Stream seemed to have died. Hopefully I'm back. But that was... Let's see, that was Sherman, Dak, or Matt Ryan. That's going to be Matt Ryan all day. High projection, lower risk, higher floor, higher ceiling. All that is good in the world. Matty Ice. Cortland Sutton. Or Kenny Galladay from Sam. Welcome to the stream, Sam. It's going to be Cortland Sutton. And it's going to be Kenny Galladay all day, every day. Love him. High projection, lower risk, higher floor, higher ceiling. All that is good in the world, Kenny Galladay and Matty Ice. Thank you for that question, Sam. RDJ2K, welcome to the stream. Happy to have you on board. Latavius Murray or Nick Chubb. I'm speeding up. We only got 10 minutes until kickoff. Let's get it. This is the witching minutes. Latavius Murray, Nick Chubb. It's going to be high projection, higher risk. Not too much high. Say, statistical error should be 0 point something. 3.7. Latavius Murray was the PPR standard. Latavius Murray. Thank you, RDJ2K. Gordon, James, you're welcome. Madden, welcome to stream. Happy to have you on board. Jones or Michelle. Jones, Aaron Jones or Sony Michelle. As I've been talking about before, I do love Aaron Jones this week. I love Lamar Miller as well. But Jones, I have done a much more in-depth analysis of him. You can check it out. It's in the head-to-head. It's a video. You can rewind and look around. Just look at the Aaron Jones stuff. But I do like him really good. I would start him over Michelle, who has had injury issues. That was Madden. Thank you so much for that question. Josh, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Kenny Galladay or Cooper Kupp. Love me some Kupp. Really nice ceiling with the worst wide receiver defense in the league. They give up the most amount of points on average to wide receivers, which is awesome. Still a little high risk, but that's okay with 5-point higher projection. Cooper Kupp is even better than Kenny Golladay, who I love. Madden again. Tyler Lockett. DJ Moore. Gonna be Tyler Lockett. Love him as well. Standard scoring. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm back. Start Tyler Lockett. Love him. Just, he's amazing. Jarvis, Golladay, or Cooper Kupp. Didn't see Jarvis. Don't start Jarvis Landry. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Josh, yes, you're back, Sherman. Awesome. Whew. Okay, that was all the questions I can see. If anybody else, if you got any more questions now, hit me up real quick. I'm gonna start with letting everybody know how much I appreciate you for joining me. Thank you so much. I'll do this again next week as usual. As I've said earlier, check out the YouTube channel, subscribe. It really do help a lot. I'm trying to build something real cool here for the fantasy community. On Wednesday, there's a new fantasy snapshot video with Kenyon Drake. And on Friday, I haven't decided yet. So if you have any ideas, comment on one of the snapshot videos and I'll look into what player people want to see the most. You can hit me up on Twitter at CSD Fantasy, where I answer questions all week long, post projections, charts, all my latest articles from csdfantasy.com with the score projection for all the players on csdfantasy.com on Thursday. And you can check out the waiver wire analysis and rest of season rankings on Tuesday on the website as well. And next Saturday is going to be focused on George Kittle and Zach Ertz on the head-to-head video. So be sure to check that out. And I love having you all here. Game Changer, welcome to the stream. Happy to have you on board. Chris Carson or Tevin Coleman in PPR. Ooh, dying here. PPR. I have Tevin Coleman for more receptions, but he has, well, he does have a lower risk and lower projection. That's fine. Higher floor, lower ceiling, tough one. But with the injury looming for Chris Carson, I would start Tevin Coleman. And I can feel that my voice is about to give out totally. Love having you all here, but I'm going to have to cut the stream here. As I said, I appreciate everybody for joining me. And as always, the spreadsheets are dark and full of terror.